Hello and welcome to your weekly in-depth horoscope for week commencing the 3rd of February for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you'd subscribe. This week begins with Mercury gliding into the sign of Pisces, the 12th sign of the Zodiac, and one which is very much to do with introspection. Mercury, of course, is to do with communication, but in this particular sector, it is in essence in detriment. So it's not its best transit, and this can lead to some sluggish communication, not unlike a retrograde, which ironically is going to start to happen later this month. So we need to work at our communications. But actually, Mercury does forge a beautiful link with Uranus this week. So if there is a hunch that we get, which comes from Pisces, and it is about our resources, it's possible, especially if it's something new or different or fresh, that it could work out splendidly well. Now, Neptune and Jupiter are the two rulers of the sign of Pisces, and they're collaborating beautifully this week. So if we can find ways to connect with people in a more sensory way, use a degree of intuition, I do feel it's possible that this can be good even in business scenarios too. Now, Venus also starts this week in the sign of Pisces, so there's a lot of energy in this sign. But by the end of the week, by Friday, Venus moves into the sign of Aries, where technically it's in full, so another not necessarily best location. But actually, Venus in Aries, I think, can be really quite sparkling and effervescent. It gives us the push to take the initiative around our relationships, especially if we're single, and also it embraces the energy of the wounded healer Chiron almost immediately. So if there is a relationship which is suffering a little bit, I do feel this and the full moon, which occurs on Sunday, is an ideal opportunity to try to get things working more sweetly. Now, whether this is in a romantic scenario or friendship or with a colleague, it doesn't really matter. You can use this full moon to your advantage. The key here is the Leo full moon is very much about balancing what we need to do for ourselves as individuals and also what's good for the collective, which comes from the energy of Aquarius. And that energy is also jarred right through this week by the quarter moon, which occurred right at the end of last week and provides a backdrop for the whole of this one. So I think we could find ourselves in a situation where our values, whether it's around our outlook to life or more about physical, financial approaches, may be an area where we experience some kind of pinch point with another person. But the full moon can tease all of this out into the open, and with Venus moving into this area, that's really saying to us, look, try to find solutions by taking the initiative. Your specific forecast, Taurus, suggests that too much work and not enough play, or at least downtime, are not necessarily going to be a good recipe for you. Your ruler Venus is going to move on Friday into a more sheltered location where you're looking for greater sincerity in all sorts of ties. But ironically, Mercury moves on Monday into the most friendly and outgoing area of your situation. With also Neptune and Venus in Pisces initially, and in the case of Neptune linking with Jupiter for the entire week, I do feel that someone who kind of helps you to expand your horizons can be very good for you at this stage. Because of the quarter moon of last week, you could find yourself still wanting to focus on your goals and ambitions. Now, that may well be worthy, but it is important not to become so focused on these that you don't give yourself permission to just chill out a little bit. In fact, Uranus in your sign is forging a brilliant link with Mercury in the early part of this week. So if you do something more spontaneous and make a decision to go out and meet a friend on the spur of the moment, I actually really feel it can be like a breath of fresh air. But once Venus does move on Friday, is it possible that someone from your past is going to be coming much more into your thinking in the weeks ahead? I think so. It's been a real pleasure being with you. If you'd like to elevate your knowledge above your zodiac sign and embrace serious astrology, please see the link beneath this video. You can order your 12-month forecast and character analysis based on your time, date and place of birth and get 30% off. Or you can choose to have a one-to-one consultation with me. But for now, good luck and goodbye.